Yields back. Chair recognizes Mr. Frost from Florida.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I appreciate it. You know, in the mission statement that you've put out for this committee, it says it's to ensure that the economy, efficiency, effectiveness, and accountability of the federal government, which I think we all agree on. We all want to combat waste, fraud, and abuse. But the thing is that y'all are all looking in the wrong places. You want to talk about making cuts to things like Medicaid, which, by the way, over 35% of all the children in this country are covered under Medicaid. Over 100,000 people in my district are covered under Medicaid. People like the grifter-in-chief Trump and President Musk are openly using their public offices to enrich themselves to the tune of billions of dollars.
All right, political junkies,
So
you are not going to believe what just went down in Congress. The House Oversight Committee hearing turned into a verbal battleground. And if you thought politics was boring, think again. Congressman Maxwell Frost just lit a match and tossed it straight into the powder keg, and the fallout? Oh, it was glorious chaos. So, let me set the scene. The hearing started off with the usual back and forth. Republicans were singing Elon Musk's praises for supposedly cutting waste and tightening up the federal government. Democrats were pushing back.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Democrat colleagues across the aisle are complaining and pitching tantrums over Elon Musk and his Doge teams cutting waste, fraud, and abuse from the executive branch and the federal government. Claiming this is unconstitutional is an outright lie. Article 2 of the Constitution clearly states that the executive power shall be vested in a President of the United States of America. President Trump exercised that power by appointing Mr. Elon Musk as a special government employee. The president, via executive order, created the U.S. Doge service within the former U.S. Digital Service to implement the president's Doge agenda by modernizing federal technology and software to maximize governmental efficiency and productivity. Doge has been brought in exactly like the U.S. Digital Service during President Obama's tenure. This is not unconstitutional. 72% of Americans, this is on both sides of the aisles, you guys. These are people in your district, these are people in my district, agree that we need to cut the ridiculous amount of waste, fraud, and abuse because Americans, all of us together, are $36 trillion in debt. $36 trillion in debt is what should be unconstitutional. Not doing everything we can to save the American people their hard-earned tax dollars. You can protest all you want outside of departments of this government. You can protest all you want, but the American people disagree with you. You're protecting the bureaucracy. The bureaucracy is not a business. Those are not real jobs producing federal revenue. By the way, they're consuming taxpayer dollars. Those jobs are paid for by the American tax people who work real jobs, earn real income, pay federal taxes, and then pay these federal employees. Federal employees do not deserve their jobs. Federal employees do not deserve their paychecks. And these are jobs that can be fired at will. But you want to know why? The American people can't pay for it anymore. We cannot afford it. $36 trillion in debt. If you want to make that your platform, your hill to die on, go ahead, because 72% of Americans agree with Doge, agree with cutting the waste, fraud, and abuse, and agree with what this committee is supposed to be about, oversight. So continue your temper tantrums. I would love to win the midterms. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.
Democrats were pushing back, worried about layoffs, privatization, and a lack of transparency. Nothing too spicy, just another day in D.C. until Frost got his turn at the mic. Maxwell Frost came in swinging, and trust me, he did not pull any punches. He flat out called Trump the grifter-in-chief.
Yeah, you heard that right. Recognized Mr. Frost from Florida.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I appreciate it. You know, in the mission statement that you've put out for this committee, it says it's to ensure that the economy, efficiency, effectiveness, and accountability of the federal government, which I think we all agree on. We all want to combat waste, fraud, and abuse. But the thing is that y'all are all looking in the wrong places. You want to talk about making cuts to things like Medicaid, which, by the way, over 35% of all the children in this country are covered under Medicaid. Over 100,000 people in my district are covered under Medicaid. People like the grifter-in-chief Trump and President Musk are openly using their public offices to enrich themselves to the tune of billions of dollars. So if we want to look at waste, fraud, and abuse, which I'm down to do, why is there complete silence on the other side of the aisle about looking at the complete grifter that is the President of the United States and the richest man on the earth, which is looking into things like Social Security and different things like that? Why don't we investigate the real corruption?
Hold off. Point of order.
I reclaim my time.
Point of order.
Mr. Chairman, point of order.
Hold off. There was a point of order when you said something. Who asked for it? Mr. Higgins.
I can refer to Elon Musk as the president.
Yeah, you heard that right. And then, with the most sarcastic grin you could imagine, he dubbed Elon Musk President Musk, accusing both men of using their influence and public office to pad their own pockets, while regular Americans are drowning in debt and medical bills. The reaction? Immediate. Republicans were up out of their seats shouting point of order and demanding Frost take back his words. What followed was less of a hearing and more of a WWE cage match. Motions to strike, procedural shouting, and even a vote to silence Frost for the rest of the hearing.
A meme
Mr. Frost.
coin
Mr.
right after
Frost.
being elected President of the United States.
Mr. Frost, before we proceed on all of this,
Mr. Chairman.
would you like to hold on? I'm the chairman. I'm recognize Mr. Frost, and we'll recognize you. Would you like to revise your remark with respect to improperly identifying the President of the United States?
I'll say President Musk and grifter and cheap Trump.
All right.
Grifter and cheap
Hey,
Trump.
Mr. Chairman, point of order.
Wait a second.
If I wanted to challenge someone to a fight, they would know it. Thank you.
There's an extra fundraising video for her.
Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I don't believe that Mr. Musk is protected by the rules of the House or the committee. No,
We're looking at the disparaging the president now.
but I don't believe Mr. Frost disparaged the president. I believe he disparaged Mr. Musk.
Well, he did disparage.
Mr. Chairman, if
President.
Mr. Musk
Called
actually
him the-
came here,
what-
then maybe the rules
All
of
right.
the committee
I heard
would
no
apply to
disparagement
him.
of the
But-
president.
I'll say something else.
We'll save a lot of time.
I'll say something else.
Okay, all right. We're going to let Chair recognize Mr. Frost. You still have 3:49. You're going to maybe revise the disparaging comment about the president because that's supposed to be our decorum here. And
It is supposed to be. President Musk and the President of the United States, Donald Trump, who is engaged in grifting of the American people, often use their public offices to enrich themselves. Someone on the other side was just asking, how would you
Point of
feel
order,
if you
Mr.
called
Chairman.
someone else from the
hold
other?
off, Mr. Frost. Hold off. There's a pending motion for disparaging the president. So the motion was words taken down about disparaging the president. And the chair finds the words for the gentleman from Florida are not parliamentary because they constitute personalities toward the president, which if you sit in the House floor, that's always uttered by the presiding officer on the House floor. You cannot disparage the President of the United States. So
Mr. Chairman, would you please read back to us the words that were disparaging? Because I didn't hear them.
if you're willing to request unanimous consent to withdraw the disparaging the comments about President Trump, I guess you can disparage Elon Musk if you want.
I will withdraw
cannot-
grifter in chief, and I will. I will say the president's grifting because you spent the last 2 years
All
saying
right.
President
Take
Biden
down
was
his
corrupt.
words.
So I can say that Trump is
motion-
grifting. What I will withdraw
Remember-
is calling him grifter in chief. That is what I
The
will
chair
withdraw.
sustains the point of order, and the words in question are ordered stricken from the transcript of this proceeding. So the member is barred from further participation.
I
feel-
challenge the ruling of the chair.
Challenge the ruling of the chair.
I move to table.
Okay, we have a motion to challenge the ruling of the chair, and then Mr.
Motion to
Gosar made a motion to table the Mr.
Second.
Conley's motion. So there's a motion and second to table Mr. Conley's motion. The motion is not debatable. As many as are in favor of tabling signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed signify by saying no.
No.
In the opinion of the
Mr.
chair,
Chairman,
the
I ask
ayes
for a
have it.
recorded vote.
A recorded vote is ordered. The clerk will call the roll.
Hearing. It was political theater at its absolute finest, or worst, depending on your perspective. Marjorie Taylor Greene and her allies were quick to jump in, calling Frost's comments disrespectful and un-American, saying Trump and Musk were just trying to fix a broken system. Next thing you know, they were moving to ban Frost from speaking at all. The tension was so thick you could cut it with a butter knife. And here's the wild part, the vote to silence Frost. It passed by just one vote. His grifter-in-chief line wiped from the official record. But let's be real, the internet never forgets. Clips of Frost's speech are already everywhere.
Mr. Jordan. Mr. Jordan votes yes. Mr. Turner. Mr. Gosar. Mr. Gosar votes yes. Ms. Fox. Mr. Grothman. Mr. Grothman votes yes. Mr. Cloud. Mr. Cloud votes yes. Mr. Palmer. Mr. Palmer votes aye. Mr. Higgins. Mr. Higgins votes yes. Mr. Sessions. Mr. Sessions votes aye. Mr. Biggs. Mr. Biggs votes aye. Miss Mace. Miss Mace votes aye. Mr. Fallon.
Aye.
Mr. Fallon votes aye. Mr. Donalds. Mr. Perry. Mr. Perry votes aye. Mr. Timmons. Mr. Timmons votes aye. Mr. Burchett. Miss Green. Miss Green votes aye. Miss Boebert. Miss Boebert votes aye. Miss Luna. Mr. Langworthy. Mr. Burleson. Mr. Burleson votes aye. Mr. Crane. Mr. Crane votes aye. Mr. Jack.
Aye.
Mr. Jack votes aye. Mr. McGuire. Mr. McGuire votes yes. Mr. Gill. Mr. Gill votes aye. Mr. Connolly.
Nay.
Mr. Connolly votes nay. Ms. Norton.
No.
Ms. Norton votes no. Mr. Lynch.
No.
Mr. Lynch votes no. Mr. Krishnamurthy.
No.
Mr. Krishnamurthy votes no. Mr. Khanna.
No.
Mr. Khanna votes no. Mr. Mfume.
No.
Mr. Mfume votes no. Miss Brown.
No.
Miss Brown votes no. Miss Stansbury.
Absolutely not.
Miss Stansbury votes no. Mr. Garcia. Mr. Garcia votes no. Mr. Frost.
No.
Mr. Frost votes no. Ms. Lee. Ms. Lee votes no. Mr. Kassar. Ms. Crockett.
Insulting people's appearance as well as trying to fight them isn't a problem.
Point of order. It's a yes or no.
But we're so
Yes,
sad
Nope.
Yes or no? Yes or no?
that our
Yes or no?
little
Just skip her.
We're so
Skip her.
sad.
Skip her. You're
My
skip her.
voter.
Go to the
Order.
next one. Go to the next
Miss
one.
Randall.
anchor.
Go to the next one. Don't count that. Go to the next one.
Miss Randall votes no. Mr. Subramaniam. Mr. Subramaniam votes no. Ms. Ansari. Mr. Bell. Mr. Bell votes no. Ms. Simon. Ms. Simon votes no. Mr. Min.
No.
Mr. Min votes no. Ms. Presley. Ms. Tlaib.
Nope.
Ms. Tlaib votes no. Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
Mr. Chairman votes yes.
Mr. Chairman, how is Ms. Crockett recorded?
Let's try this one more time. How has Ms. Crockett voted?
Ms. Crockett is not yet recorded.
No.
All right.
I thank my colleague.
Ms. Crockett votes no.
Mr. Chairman, how is Mr. Kesar recorded?
Mr. Kassar is not recorded. Mr. Kassar votes no. Mr. Chairman, on this vote, the ayes are 20, the nays are 19.
All right. The motion to table passes. I now recognize Mr. McGuire.
Everywhere.
I want to
Some folks are hailing him as a truth teller. Others say he stepped way over the line. But here's the question I want you to think about. Is this about protecting the dignity of Congress, or is it about shutting down voices you don't like? Where's the line between free speech and decorum? And who actually gets to decide what's out of bounds? So what do you think? Was Frost out of line, or was he just saying what a ton of Americans are already thinking? Drop your take in the comments. I'll be reading them all. And hey, if you dig this kind of breakdown, raw, honest, no spin, hit that like button, make sure you're subscribed, and ring the bell so you never miss a political moment.